I remember the first time I heard about the sleepover horror stories. It was a chilly autumn night, and my friends and I were gathered around a crackling bonfire, sharing spooky tales to try and scare each other. That's when Sarah piped up with a story that sent shivers down my spine. She told us about a sleepover she had attended when she was younger. It was at a friend's house in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by dense woods. As the night wore on, they decided to play a game of hide-and-seek in the dark. Sarah found a spot behind a tree and waited for her friends to find her. But as the minutes ticked by, she realized that no one was coming to look for her. Panic set in as she called out for her friends, but there was no response. She stumbled through the darkness, trying to find her way back to the house, but every path seemed to lead her deeper into the woods. Just when she thought she was lost for good, she heard a faint whisper in the distance. It was her friends, calling out to her. Relieved, she followed the sound of their voices until she stumbled upon them, huddled together in fear. They told her that they had been searching for her for hours, but every time they thought they were getting closer, she seemed to slip further away. Sarah couldn't explain what had happened, but she knew that something sinister lurked in those woods that night. The second story came from my friend Jake, who had his own terrifying experience at a sleepover. He told us about a night when he stayed at his cousin's house, a sprawling mansion that was rumored to be haunted. As they settled in for the night, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. In the middle of the night, he woke up to the sound of footsteps echoing through the halls. He crept out of bed and followed the sound, only to find himself face to face with a ghostly figure standing at the end of the hallway. Frozen in fear, Jake watched as the figure slowly turned and disappeared into thin air. He ran back to his cousin's room, shaking with terror as he tried to explain what he had seen. But when they went to investigate, there was no sign of the ghostly figure. Jake couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, haunted by the image of the ghostly apparition that had crossed his path. The final story was the most chilling of all, shared by my friend Emily. She told us about a sleepover she had attended at a friend's house, where they decided to play with a Ouija board. As they placed their fingers on the planchette and asked if there were any spirits present, the board began to move on its own. Terrified, they asked the spirit to prove its presence by making a noise in the room. Suddenly, the lights flickered and a loud crash echoed through the house. They screamed and ran from the room, convinced that they had unleashed something malevolent. As they huddled together in fear, they heard a voice whispering in the darkness. It was a chilling, otherworldly sound that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. They knew then that they had made a grave mistake in summoning whatever entity now lurked in the shadows. As Emily finished her story, we sat in stunned silence, the crackling of the bonfire, the only sound breaking the stillness of the night. The sleepover horror stories had left us all feeling unsettled, our imaginations running wild with the possibilities of what could be lurking in the darkness. And as we finally drifted off to sleep, the stories continued to haunt our dreams, reminding us that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that go bump in the night. Hey there, have you ever had a sleepover experience that left you feeling uneasy? Well, get ready, because today we're diving into some real-life, creepy sleepover horror stories that will send shivers down your spine. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the most chilling tales that actually happened. In this video, we'll be sharing some terrifying accounts of sleepovers that took a dark turn. Imagine being in the comfort of a friend's home, only to experience unexplained and terrifying events that make you question everything. Dealing with the unknown during what should be a fun and innocent sleepover can be a real challenge. Exploration development. Let's delve into the first story. It all started on a stormy night when a group of friends gathered for a sleepover in a remote cabin. As the wind howled outside, strange noises echoed through the house, and shadows seemed to move on their own. The friends brushed it off as their imagination until objects started levitating and doors slammed shut. Fear crept in as they realized they were not alone, and something sinister lurked in the darkness of the cabin. But the most chilling moment came when one of the friends woke up in the middle of the night to find a figure standing at the foot of their bed, its eyes glowing in the darkness. The sheer terror and disbelief paralyzed them as they struggled to comprehend what was happening. In summary, the first story highlighted the spine-tingling events that unfolded during a seemingly ordinary sleepover. Stay tuned for more bone-chilling tales, but before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more hair-raising content. Call to action. If you've had your own creepy sleepover experiences, we want to hear about them. Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more terrifying videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you have a sleepover, be prepared for the unexpected.